Trump is saying, "Come on now, give me the Nobel Prize already. I've worked so hard." Yes, it's true that just 2 days ago, the US got dragged into the Iran-Israel conflict. Massive bombs were dropped on Iran, courtesy of America. But now Trump wants the credit. He wants to be seen as the peace messenger, the ultimate dealmaker. According to Trump, he ended the 12-day war between Iran and Israel. Meanwhile, Iran claims that Trump was the one begging for a ceasefire, asking, "Brother, let's negotiate a peace deal." But here's the irony: if the Nobel Committee ever introduced awards like Best Attempted Peace Prize or Most Improved Effort for Peace, then sure, Trump might actually deserve consideration, fact or fiction. It's getting harder and harder to tell in the Middle East. The region is already insanely complex. If a nuclear war ever breaks out in today's world, the chances are it will start in the Middle East. And the last few days have taken us dangerously close to that. Now, the deal is done. Trump has announced that both nations will now stand down and stop attacking each other. But suddenly, Trump seems angry with Israel, because Israel clearly doesn't want to listen to him. And if you've been following closely, we've shown in several episodes, Israel doesn't follow America's orders. It's actually the other way around. America follows Israel's lead. That fact has now been confirmed loud and clear. Even Donald Trump can't make Israel listen. Just listen to his frustrated statement. "We had a deal. They knew the plan. And before I even finished saying stand down, they dropped everything they had. I'm not happy with them. I'm really not happy." Imagine, Trump drops huge bombs to save Israel. And just 2 days later, Israel flat out ignores him. If you listen to his full rant, without context, it might even sound like Trump is taking Iran's side and is more angry at Israel than anyone else. Look at his tweet. "I have warned the pilots. Israeli pilots, return immediately. No bombing. Israel is not going to attack. All planes will turn around and head home. And give Iran a friendly wave while you're at it. No one will be hurt. Ceasefire is in effect. Thanks for your attention to this matter." And then, minutes later, the news breaks: Israel went ahead and attacked a radar installation near Tehran. Yes, right after Trump told the entire world the war is over. Trump had declared that the ceasefire is now officially in effect. But just think about it: Donald Trump, trying to control America's oldest ally, the so-called best friend, Israel. And yet Israel doesn't even listen to him. They went ahead and launched an attack anyway. Now the big question is, will Iran retaliate? That's still uncertain, but there's one question we can agree on. Who really calls the shots in this relationship? Who's America's daddy? It's Israel. It's the Israeli lobby, and that's not even a debate anymore, not after what we've seen. In today's episode, we are going to focus on a different angle. Will this so-called ceasefire actually hold? Or is it just a pause before the next explosion? By the time I'm recording this episode, the question still stands, and by the time you watch it, maybe the ceasefire will have completely collapsed. But the real question is, why was this ceasefire even declared? Especially when, just 2 days before, a regime change seemed imminent and Iran was about to be bombed again. So, who really won because of this ceasefire? Did Israel win? Did Iran win? Forget about the USA, it certainly didn't win. But this ceasefire also reveals how global politics is slowly shifting. To understand that, we need to first look at the chronology, because things have gotten seriously confusing. And if you haven't been following the events closely like we have, let me break it down for you. It all started on June 13th when Israel launched a surprise attack on Iran, called Operation Rising Lion. The official reason given was that Iran was close to acquiring nuclear weapons, and hence Israel had to act preemptively. Iran, of course, didn't sit back. It retaliated with a flurry of ballistic missiles, continuously targeting Israel for over 9 days, keeping them on edge. Then, on June 21st, Israel reached out to the US for help, essentially saying, "Help us. We are being overwhelmed." That's when the US entered the war, bringing in its heavy-duty GBU bunker-busting bombs with the aim of destroying Iran's nuclear infrastructure. But here's the strange part: just a day after those bombs were dropped, no one, not even the US, could confirm whether Iran's centrifuges were actually damaged or not. In fact, we even made a full episode showing how unclear it still is whether the 60% Enriched uranium Iran already had was destroyed or not. Then came June 23, just last night, and Iran launched an attack that shocked everyone. They fired 6 ballistic missiles at Al-Udeid Air Base in Qatar, the biggest US military base in the region. When those missiles started heading toward a US base, the entire world thought, this is it. World War III is here. That's how complicated the Middle East is. Now look at what Donald Trump tweeted just moments after the attack. He said, "I am pleased to report no Americans were harmed and hardly any damage was done." Think about that, a foreign country attacks your military base. And your president is saying, it's okay, no big deal. Gotten it out of the system, I've vented out all the frustration. And now there will be no further hateful actions. Since you had already given us an early notice before this attack. Now let's talk about peace. Let's end all the red alerts and talk about a ceasefire. What people thought was an alarm for World War III, a full-blown siren, Donald Trump responded to it by saying, okay fine, get the anger out of your system, and now let's talk. So the conversation began late at night on June 23rd. Or early morning if you go by Indian Standard Time. Trump announced on his Truth Social account that he had declared a complete and total ceasefire, which would kick in within a few hours. It was to begin at 7 a.m. Tehran time from Iran's side. And within 12 hours, Israel would also join in. This 12-day war would finally come to an end. No one believed Trump at first. It's hard to take him seriously when missiles are still being fired and he claims both sides have already agreed to a truce. It sounded like something out of a Nobel Prize moment. And look how Trump roped in Qatar. Even though Qatar was attacked and most of the military bases were there. He told the Emir of Qatar, "You brokered this whole deal, don't be upset. And don't get involved in the war." Initially, Iranian state media dismissed the announcement as mere rhetoric or fabrication. Around 4 a.m. Indian time, they flat out denied any such deal and said, in a few hours, "You'll see how we continue to rain missiles." But then Iran's foreign minister made an important tweet, which indicated that a ceasefire might be in the works. He tweeted that Iran had repeatedly made it clear that Israel attacked us first. And we only responded, we did not initiate the attack. So, for now, there's no agreement. But if a ceasefire is to happen, the Israeli regime must ensure no more aggression, no more attacks. Only then can Iran consider the suspension of military operations. Even after Trump's ceasefire announcement and before the official start time, the Israeli Defense Forces reported multiple waves of missile strikes hitting Israel. On one side, Trump was saying a ceasefire is already in effect or about to be. And on the other, Iran kept launching missile after missile, right up to the very last moment, and possibly even a bit after. Trump later said, okay, fine. Iran has launched the missiles.
Like